Are Ariana Grande and Dalton Gomez going to break up? Why was Britney Spears seen without her ring? And what has Travis Scott done in Japan to humiliate himself? I'm gonna answer all these questions in this video, so stick with me. First up, why are there breakup rumors going around about Ariana Grande and Dalton Gomez? Let's get into it. Over the weekend, Dalton reportedly deactivated his Instagram account after comments were made questioning his sexuality. For whatever reason, some fans decided to target him and accuse him of being gay. We don't know what these comments look like exactly, but obviously they weren't made in a nice way. It was most likely intended to bully him. So it's possible that he was sick of getting these kind of remarks and just wanted to get off of social media. As for his possible breakup with Ariana, so far that's still just speculation. This is all pretty upsetting given the fact that the couple have really tried to keep a low profile ever since they got married. Dalton does have his own Instagram account, but he set it to private shortly after news of their relationship became public. Now, these comments might not be the reason he deactivated his account, but apparently he did not use Instagram on the regular, so it could also mean that he just wanted to delete it for good. But what's really interesting is that this is not even the first time there's been divorce rumors. Last August, Ariana posted a video doing her makeup while she was promoting her brand REM Beauty, but it wasn't the makeup that caught everyone's attention. It was the fact that she wasn't wearing her wedding ring. If she didn't address it, fans would most likely jump to conclusions and assume that something was going on behind the scenes. Thankfully, she did, because she already knew exactly what everyone would say when they didn't spot her ring. She said, "I'm just not wearing my ring. It's getting clean. I'm not getting a divorce, so before you start, don't." So she made it very clear that she was shutting that idea down. Obviously, she's been in the spotlight long enough to know that even the smallest thing can cause a massive panic online. But is there something about Dalton that fans don't seem to like? I mean, why does it seem like people are jumping at the possibility of them breaking up? Although they've managed to keep a relatively low profile since they got together, there was a moment in 2021 which earned them a ton of backlash. In June that year, a video of Ariana and Dalton resurfaced online, which was then shared by various Twitter accounts. A black and white clip showed the two of them with a few of their friends, and they appeared to be participating in a mockery of Native American dance. In the video, you can see Ariana sitting at the center of the circle. She was then seen to be singing, laughing, and spinning a big piece of cloth around in the air. The other people in the group were said to be making drumming sounds. Apparently, it seemed like they were trying to summon a spirit, so it's no surprise that this was deemed offensive because it kind of seemed like they were making fun of the culture. Soon after it was posted, Ariana deleted the video because she started to receive too many negative comments. It's possible that fans interpreted this to be something way different than what was actually happening, but it's also easy to see why it was so upsetting. Aside from that, there hasn't really been many controversial moments in their relationship, and that's probably because the two of them are very adamant about privacy and keeping their life off of social media. Dalton might not be as well known as her previous boyfriends like Pete Davidson or Big Sean, but that doesn't mean he makes her any less happy. The fans seemed to be over the moon when it was revealed that they were dating. Nearly 2 years after breaking off her engagement with Pete, Ariana was spotted kissing a mystery man in LA, who was later confirmed to be Dalton. The couple began dating in January of 2020 and spent a lot of time together at Ariana's home in New York City. When the pandemic hit in March, she followed him back to LA because he had to return there for work. An inside source at the time said, "She realized he is very special. It was getting very tricky for them to see each other, so she decided to take her chance. She purchased a house in the Hollywood Hills in June and never looked back. They are incredibly happy." In May that year, Dalton appeared in the music video for Ariana and Justin Bieber's song Stuck With You. They were seen to be hugging and dancing together. Then in December of 2020, after almost 1 year of dating, Ariana announced her engagement on Instagram. She posted a photo of them together along with shots of their engagement ring. In the caption, she wrote, "Forever and then some." Several months later, in May of 2021, the couple tied the knot in a very small ceremony at their home. Apparently there were less than 20 guests there and the nuptials were informal. There was no real ceremony, just a casual exchange of vows. Ariana later shared photos from their wedding on Instagram. You could see her wearing a beautiful Vera Wang dress for her nuptials. At the time, an inside source spoke to People magazine and said they're a great fit together. Dalton's entirely unfazed by the scope of her celebrity and is very grounding for her. He's young but mature and knows what he wants out of life, which certainly seems to be the case because because unlike her famous exes, he's not an entertainer, but that doesn't mean he isn't super successful on his own. Dalton is a luxury real estate agent. He works as a director of the estates division for Aaron Kerman Group. We know that he works with A-list clients and has 7 years of experience in the market. That's actually how he met Ariana, because she was looking to buy a house in LA and he was her realtor, which sounds like it would make for a great story. After all, I'm sure most celebrities still want to be able to meet someone in person, like we all do. To this day, the couple seem to be very happy together, and there's no real reason to believe that they're going to separate anytime soon. But Ariana and Dalton aren't the only couple that people think have separated. There's now speculation that Britney Spears and her husband Sam Asghari have decided to take a break. There was a bit more evidence for this one because both of them were seen without their rings, and Britney was spotted hanging out with an unidentified man in Puerto Rico over the weekend. She was photographed at Starbucks in the beachside town of Dorado wearing a black off-the-shoulder dress. Both of them were standing next to each other while looking at the menu, and they were acting pretty casual. The man was later confirmed to be a member of her security staff. As for Sam, he brushed off speculation that their marriage was in trouble. His rep explained that the two of them are not experiencing marital issues, despite the fact that they are both ditching their wedding bands. He claimed that his client has just taken off the ring because he was filming a movie at the time. While it's unclear what movie he's filming, he did announce in November that he landed a role in a television series called Lioness. He shared a photo outside what appears to be a film set on his Instagram story, as well as a selfie on a plane with his wedding ring on display. This is likely the reason that he didn't join Britney on vacation, because he was just busy working. Meanwhile, Britney seemed to be living it up in Mexico with her manager and longtime friend Kate Hudson. They posted several photos on the beach together and even a video where they were grinding on each other and getting very close. But that's absolutely nothing to worry about because the two of them have been best friends for decades. Kate has always been a really private person on social media, but we do know that he's been in Britney's inner circle for years. Back in 2014, he was seen giving her a kiss on the cheek. In 2015, they were photographed dancing together, and in 2017, she was spotted at his birthday party. He started working as her manager after her former manager, Larry Rudolph, quit. This would have been a major deal considering that he had worked with her for 25 years. He released a statement at the time saying, "I was originally hired at Britney's request to help manage and assist her with her career, and as her manager, I believe it is in Britney's best interest for me to resign from her team as my professional services are no longer needed. I wish Britney all the health and happiness in the world, and I'll be there for her if she ever needs me again, just as I always have been." Because he quit the exact same year that her conservatorship ended, the timing seemed to be a little strange, and fans were pretty shocked at his decision. But it was most likely just about his plans to retire rather than anything more scandalous. The following year, Britney and Sam tied the knot in a star-studded wedding at her mansion in California. Although most fans were very happy for her, others kept pushing the idea that her husband was somehow controlling her. This is something that Sam has had to continually deny. Back in December, he responded to a comment which accused him of controlling her social media accounts. He said, "No, I don't even control what we have for dinner." Before he proposed in September of 2021, the actor opened up about the beginning of their relationship and how he sees their future together. He spoke to Forbes in March and said, "My priorities in life are to remain humble and understand where I came from and where I'm going. I want to take my career to the next step when it comes to acting. I want to take my relationship to the next step as well. I don't mind becoming a father. I want to be a young dad." Although they seemed to have a very solid relationship when they started thinking about marriage, unfortunately their wedding was not without its hiccups, and that's kind of an understatement. Britney's ex-husband Jason Alexander gatecrashed her wedding by showing up at her house and trying to stop it. The two of them were married for 55 hours in 2004, and as you could have probably guessed, it wasn't very well thought out. They were both really young, very drunk, and decided to get married in Las Vegas after spending several days partying together. Then they got the marriage annulled after they both sobered up. So everyone was shocked that almost 20 years later, Jason came back into Britney's life only to try and ruin her wedding. He was obviously looking to get a bit of publicity out of it as well, because he filmed the whole thing on Instagram Live. What's really crazy is that he actually managed to break into her home before he got arrested for trespassing and was taken away by security. More than anything, this incident was really upsetting, considering that it happened around the same time that Britney's conservatorship came to an end. The singer was trying to start a new life and celebrate her freedom, so it's really sad that she couldn't even have a drama-free wedding. Okay, moving on, let's talk about the viral video that's been going around of the moment that Travis Scott realizes he's not very big in Japan. The rapper was filmed on a crowded street in Tokyo. At first, he was covering his face with a hoodie so no one would know that it was him. The whole thing was very dramatic because Travis was obviously trying to have some kind of a big reveal. He then takes off his hoodie and seems to walk around looking confused that no one actually recognizes him. It was extremely awkward to watch because he was clearly expecting some kind of big reaction from the crowd, only to realize that no one really knew who he was or paid him that much attention. He was literally ignored by every single pedestrian. If anything, they were just trying to get from point A to point B, and he was interrupting the flow of the crowd. At one point, he tried to laugh it off and then walk back to his group. Unfortunately, that uncomfortable moment was posted on Twitter, and now it seems like everyone was making fun of him. The video now has around 11.5 million views, and a ton of comments pointing out his mistake. They also pointed out the fact that the reveal would have worked better for bigger stars like Nicki Minaj or Beyonce, but there was just no way that Travis was going to get the same results. In fact, that video got so much attention mostly because of how funny it was. There's now a thread on Reddit dedicated to figuring out why no one seemed to recognize Travis Scott. People wrote things like, "Why are American rappers surprised by the fact that no one knows who they are overseas? And I'm in the US and I still have no clue who this even is." It's interesting to see that his fame and notoriety doesn't necessarily translate in Japan. In the US, he's known as a successful rapper who sold heaps of records, dated and had 2 children with Kylie Jenner. Not only that, but he was also directly involved, and some would even say responsible for, the horrific tragedy that was Astroworld in 2021. The event, which resulted in the death of 10 people, has become synonymous with Travis's name. I could just never imagine the severity of the situation, but no matter what excuse he had, at the end of the day, there was nothing that could bring back the lives of those 10 people. He is still being criticized for the events of that day. So what do you guys think about this latest news story? Please let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next video.